So, what a week to be a Miami Hurricanes fan. First and foremost, you get one of the biggest wins in the entirety of the 2023 recruiting class for five-star defensive back Kermani McLean, who happens to be a top five player in all of high school football. On top of that, this week, you then double down and flip a prospect, Kaleb Spencer, from one of the institutions that's recruiting as well as anybody in college football right now, being the Oklahoma Sooners. Today, we need to talk about what this means for Miami, what this means for Oklahoma, and everything in between. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised that Miami was able to flip Kaleb Spencer? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below as those interactions are massive. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And first and foremost, Kaleb Spencer is a three-star linebacker prospect from the state of Virginia. But interestingly enough, when you turn on his film, he's got a lot of upside. And I've said this since he committed to Oklahoma. When you watch Kaleb Spencer play, there are a few different things he can do for your defense and do them at a very high level, and that's the entire reason Oklahoma fans and the staff were so excited about this prospect. Forget the star ranking for a second. Let's just talk about fit. And if you're Oklahoma, this was someone that fit into that Brent Venables cheetah role like a glove. And that's why so many Oklahoma fans were excited to see what the future held for Kaleb Spencer. Now, however, he finds his way to Miami. And for the Miami Hurricanes, you're getting a guy in this defense that whenever he gets on campus provides you a ton of versatility. And I've talked at length on the channel about the positivities I find in having players that provide that sort of versatility. It allows you to maximize what your defense does best, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Kaleb Spencer. But this goes to prove that Miami is doing as well as anybody on the recruiting trail right now, and there's a lot of people saying NIL, NIL, and sure, but that's the new age of college football we're in, and it's simply not relegated to just Miami. Everybody is using it. But for Miami, they've gotten two huge wins, and the program needs this right now, quite frankly. If we're looking at Miami and we're being very honest, yes, Mario Cristobal, it's his first year coming back, but this is not the year anybody expected the Hurricanes to have. I think trying to contend for a playoff position was a bit unrealistic, but at the same time, they've lost games this year in fashions no Miami fan expected them to. But you still have a ton of positive hope because of the way your institution is recruiting, and especially with the wins you've gotten in this week. So this is a great win for the Miami Hurricanes. Kaleb Spencer, very talented linebacker prospect, maybe a three-star like I said, but forget the star ranking for a second. Just go watch his film. There's a lot of versatility. There's a lot of positivity he can offer your defense. Now, if you're the Oklahoma Sooners, where do you go from here? Well, first and foremost, we need to understand OU is still a top 10 recruiting class in all of college football, and there still is a lot of time between now, early signing day, and especially national signing day. But more importantly, I think Oklahoma still has several options that Brent Venables and the staff would like at the cheetah position, and if we want to look at the more immediate future, there's a young player already on campus in Norman that the fans are super excited about, being Jaren Kanak. So, right now, you want the depth at the cheetah position. We've already seen right now from what Oklahoma is experiencing that you need depth. As great as it is to have Kanak there, you want a guy. You want two guys. Heck, you might even want three guys behind him because iron sharpens iron. You want that competition in practice, but you also want, in the event someone gets hurt, you have complete faith in the guy backing that guy up. So Brent Venables and Oklahoma are going to look to establish this depth at the cheetah position. It's just going to be interesting to see who they turn to because there are several different options they could look towards. The cheetah position is a massive piece in the Brent Venables defense. It's something that makes his defense a little bit different, and it's really interesting to see how they're utilized during the course of the game. If you really want to get an understanding, today while Oklahoma is taking on Iowa State, watch Deshaun White, who currently serves that position for the Oklahoma Sooners, and if he's not playing it, Kanak will play in relief. So this is going to be interesting moving forward. Look, is Oklahoma recruiting in trouble? No, absolutely not. They may have had someone get flipped from their class, but we need to understand something. It doesn't matter if you're Kirby Smart in Georgia. It doesn't matter if you're Nick Saban, Alabama, Ryan Day, Ohio State, or Dabo Swinney in Clemson. you're probably going to have a player flip from your recruiting class. That's just the nature of recruiting. It's all about finding players you think fit into your system, trying to get them committed, and then trying to get them to stay committed. But at the same time, you've got to stay vigilant. You've got to stay aware of what other fits may be had for your class in the event someone flips. So it's going to be interesting to see what Oklahoma does, but if you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan asking me where I think you go from here, no reason at all to hit the panic button. You have talent at the cheetah position currently on roster. They just need to grow. Brent Venables hasn't even been there a full year yet. They really just need to grow at that position, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to look to try and get a replacement. You want to establish that depth. Iron sharpens iron. And for Miami, I mean, what a week you've had. And if Miami is able to translate these recruiting wins to wins on the field, well, I only think that's going to be a major boost to what they're able to do on the recruiting trail. Right now, they're able to sell a rebuild, but it's going to be much easier to sell that rebuild if prospects think that they're close and there's tangible hope. But it really just goes to underline, Miami is a team we have got to watch right now. Mario Cristobal can recruit as well as anybody in the nation, and we've got to see what the future holds. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.